Meridian, Idaho is the fastest growing city in the state. Nestled in the Treasure Valley, the perfect backdrop for a racetrack, where today they chase checkered flags and glory. Located just 10 miles outside of Boise, Idaho, is where you will find the quarter-mile speed plant known as Meridian Speedway, owned and operated by the family of former IndyCar star Davey Hamilton. And the K&N Pro Series is in town, ready to go racing. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the NAPA Auto Parts Idaho 208, the K&N Pro Series West. Ready to go racing here in Idaho. Ralph Sheen, Parker Kligerman with you, and Heather DeBoe will be covering the action for us down along the racetrack. Nice day, temperature 57 degrees, a little cool maybe compared to the rest of the country. So where is Meridian Speedway? Well, there you see, just down the road from Boise, Idaho. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into today's race, and boy, we got a great one brewing here, Parker.
Yeah, not only the top two are tied, but all the way back to fifth of David Mayhew's only 18 points back. This is a really tight points battle.
Time to introduce you to Heather DeBoe.
Thanks, Ralph. Tonight marks only the second time the K&N West Series is visiting Meridian Speedway. The first race was back in 1972, where Ray Elder took home the checkered flag, and he was racing against some other greats such as Herschel McGriff and Jack McCoy. Now, this track is very small. It is built around a high school football field, so that gives our viewers at home a much better idea of exactly how small this quarter-mile track is. Now, drivers have said all day that the biggest challenge in tonight's race is going to be passing and lapped cars. Remember, this race is only 208 laps, so whoever can stay out of trouble and save their equipment should be there at the end to hopefully contend for the win.
A racetrack very similar to Bowman Gray. And here's a look at some of the drivers that have won already this season on the West Tour. Eggleston's picked up a couple. Brandon McReynolds, of course, dominating at Iowa earlier this year. Well, before we go green, let's meet our pole sitter. He's standing by with Heather down along the racetrack.
Thank you, Ralph. Now, Noah, so far this season, your qualifying efforts haven't been what you wanted them to be. What do you think has been the missing ingredient that you found tonight to get your first career pole?
You know, I'm not sure about that, but on exactly what we're missing. But what I can tell you is that all my guys from Jefferson Pitts Racing have worked so hard today and this whole weekend, and I just can't thank them enough, along with Alert ID and Colors International. And thank you, NBC Sports, for broadcasting this, and all the great fans here at Meridian Raceway. Tight little quarter-mile track, so it's going to be a tough beating banging the whole race long, but hopefully we can stay out front and come home with the win.
So most of the drivers have said that the biggest challenge tonight is going to be lapped cars and passing. How are you going to use your advantage of starting on the pole to stay out front and hopefully get a win tonight? Yeah, being the leader here is key. You know, you have fresh air the whole race, well, starting the race. So being up front, not having to worry about passing too many cars, lap cars, is going to be a big factor. You know, this is a flat track, so it's going to be hard to pass these cars. So just so much fun racing with all these great competitors, and hopefully you can come home with the win. Good luck tonight. Thank you. That's Noah Gregson walking away with his first career pole here in the K&N West Series.
Parker, being out front means starts and restarts will be key.
Yeah, very key, especially how flat this track is, how tight it is. As you said, it's a lot like Bowman Gray, and we know when you're on the pole at Bowman Gray, you have a huge advantage.
Well, we'll see how this one plays out when we get ready to go green. Back here in Idaho on a cool evening as we get ready for the NAPA Auto Parts Idaho 208. So which drivers should you keep an eye on tonight? Here's Heather with that story.
Guys, you want to keep your eye on the driver, Chris Eggleston. The last few races, the points have been really tight, and he has actually been tied for the lead for 2 consecutive races. He currently holds the lead over Ryan Partridge because Chris has 2 wins to Ryan's 1. The last time the series raced at a quarter mile was State Line Speedway, where Chris finished 11th after being involved in a pair of spins during the race. Tonight he is hoping to stay out of trouble and hopefully get his 4th consecutive top 5 finish and maybe even pick up his 3rd win this season.
Well, there's another quarter mile yet to go this season out at All-America Raceway in Roseville, California. So, Parker, you got to be good on those quarter miles.
Yeah, it's really important on here on the West Series and the East Series. These tight little short tracks are where a lot of these series run. But really, this one is unique in itself that just has a little bit of banking compared to some of these quarter miles we see, which will make it an interesting race.
Here's a look at that starting grid. You've already heard about Noah Gregson. James Bickford is going to start alongside in the Sunrise Ford. Eggleston, you see, back on the inside of row 3.
Yeah, and actually, row 2 there, you had David Mayhew. Here on row 6, you have Nicole Bihar, who's had a good season so far.
Taking a look at the rest of the field. What are these teams going to have to do to build a little heat in those motors on a cooler night tonight?
Yeah, you just got to do what they're doing, which is weaving back and forth, obviously. They'll tape them up a little bit more. You can get away with a couple things when it's cool like it is tonight in terms of brakes and tape on the front of the end of the race cars.
Well, here we go. 208 laps on a quarter mile. Green flag in Idaho. Oh, and one car already into the wall. This one's going to go yellow shortly after going green.
Yeah, we've got major damage.
Yeah, heavy damage there. That looks like Jesse Iwuji, who's into the wall, the driver who came from Carrollton, Texas.
And first career start's not what you want to do here. Looks like he may have just got some help. Yeah, we can't see there, but getting it backed in like that, you maybe just got a little help on cold tires right at the start of the race. You got to be careful. They might have been fighting for the bottom, and just two cars got together and shoved him in the wall.
Tough night for Jesse here. You know, he is a Navy lieutenant, so we thank him for his service to our country. The NASCAR community, big supporters of our military when they return to our country, as you'll learn here in Giving Back.
Well, 208 Cares is a nonprofit organization that is trying to give away a home to an Idaho veteran, a disabled Idaho veteran. We've got a lot down in Eagle, Idaho, and a builder that builds adaptive homes. They're certified to do that. And we're looking to make a little bit of money and get a little awareness out of our project.
I think NASCAR has done a pretty good job this year, supporting the military with all the different kind of races where they have like a military theme. So it's been pretty good. And with me being, active duty Navy, I think it's pretty awesome. So I've seen some great support. The two linking up together for this has been pretty awesome. So we sold about 200 tickets to get military members into the race for free. They can bring their families and everything. So, I was pretty pumped about that.
We're still looking for applications. So if you know somebody or want to nominate somebody, well, go to that same website, 28cares.org, and you can nominate them right there. There's an application right on the website.
A great program. All right, let's get back to the racing here. Hopefully we can get some green laps in. The first 6 really have all been under caution. At least 5.5 of them. All right, back up to speed we go. Green flag waves once again. And let the bumping and banging begin, Parker.
Yeah, good restart by Noah Gregson there. A lot better than the first start where he actually got loose and spun the tires as we came to the green. But side by side here, James Bickford holding tough on that outside.
Is Bickford going to be able to make that outside work to get around?
Well, talking to some of the drivers, that outside line is really able to be used, especially on these restarts. So I'll be interested to see if James Bickford can really maybe take the lead here or at least just hold out on that outside line, keeping Noah Gregson pinched on the inside until those tires come up to temp.
Well, he's trying to squeeze him down there too, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is, and that's how you do it, especially right now on these lower tire pressures, cold temperatures. You're just trying to get the cars to come to you, and really, if you can hold on the outside right now, I really think as those tire pressures come up, he can get around him here.
A little further back through the field, there you see Behar in the 33.
Yeah, and you got Alex Shuddy there fighting David Mayhew for second. These top 4 just side by side. Really awesome racing, showing what this racetrack can provide tonight. As you see, James Bickford gets it done around the outside.
That's an impressive move early on in the race to make that work like that.
Yeah, I really just, in talking to some of these drivers, they said that outside line was going to be useful on these restarts, that you could just be able to pinch that car on the inside off and not let them get back to the throttle. You could make the pass there, and you saw it right there for the lead.
McReynolds in the 16 battling with Eggleston and Partridge, they're all fighting over 5th right now.
Yeah, and that's your front two in the points right now, tied as we came into this race. So these two really trying to race each other right here on the track, but also race each other for a championship here tonight.
Partridge, of course, in the 9 car, the team car to our race leader, the other Sunrise Ford backed entry.
Yeah, and you see them there. That outside line, once again, it's really working there for Brandon McReynolds. Be interested to see if he can ride that up past both these guys.
You can see Partridge in the 9 gets right up underneath Eggleston's rear bumper there. You got to have so much patience, don't you, when you're racing on a tight quarter mile like this?
Well, Ralph, you'll see that all night. You know, just nose to tail, maybe just little taps in the rear bumper of the guy that's in front of you, maybe holding you up a little bit. But, I mean, that's just the nature of racing on a tight, tiny quarter-mile track such as we're racing here. You really don't have a lot of room to race, and you got to find ways to just make yourself have room at times.
Some of it not even intended. So when you're the guy in front or alongside and you're getting tapped or leaned on a little bit, you've got to remain calm and cool and not let it irritate you at the same time, correct?
Exactly. As you see Noah Gregson here looking to the outside of James Bickford, trying to use that outside line that James used to get around him from the restart. I'll be interested to see, especially here as we get into the run, if that outside line continues to be able to be used. That really shows how we have two different lines to be able to race here tonight.
Whoa, you can see Bickford came right across the nose of the 7 of Gregson, and now Mayhew in the 17. Oh, you can see he was right up on that rear quarter panel, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's right in that left rear tire there, Noah Gregson. He's just almost touching him, but not quite, and that's the kind of racing we're going to see here all night. It's just absolute centimeters or inches between these race cars at all times because it's just such a tight, small track.
And now you can see looming on the horizon lap traffic.
Yeah, and that's going to be very, very tough, Ralph. But here, look at this. You saw Mayhew there on the inside, making a little bit of room, making some ground up on the leader, and now goes to the outside and gets all the way past second place and up to our leader. This is awesome racing.
Going for the lead. In a matter of fact, here he comes, taking it. Wow. I really didn't think the outside was going to be that good, but that might be the way to go.
I'm telling you, these drivers were talking all about it. You may have qualified on the bottom, but that outside line seems to have a lot of grip, a lot of speed. Just that little bit of banking, 8 degrees, it can just help you the little bit you need around this racetrack. That was a really impressive move, though. It was awesome to watch.
And then with the lap traffic in the way, Bickford not only loses the lead, but he's dropped all the way back to 3rd.
Yeah, and being able to use that outside line when you come upon lap traffic and they stay on the bottom like they're supposed to, hold their line, what you'll do is, especially if someone is racing you for the lead or on the inside, you'll use that almost as a pick and get them slowed up behind that lap car and get away from them a little bit. I think that's something you'll see a lot tonight.
More traffic, not that far up in front of Mayhew. But for now, he's enjoying a clean racetrack. It's Gregson. Thinks about the inside.
Yeah, obviously the 7 car is very fast here tonight. The 17 looks very good as well, but I think that pole sitter right there wants to get that lead back and put himself firmly in control of this race.
Mayhew's MMI back Chevy looking pretty strong right now in the lead. Boy, the laps will click off. Oh, problems as he runs into the 86 of Wood. Oh,
that is disaster here. Wow. I mean, we knew traffic would be an issue, but this sort of issue is just not what we could have expected. I mean, at a tight track like this can happen. Though, you know, you come up on cars so quickly, the lap times only being about 13 seconds. Everything happens very quick here. And for Dave Mayhew, maybe John Wood was just there and spun too soon and wasn't able to see or get slowed up and ended up collecting each other.
The Idaho native Wood had spun. Let's see, up in front of him, there he is. And Mayhew just couldn't get it turned down fast enough.
Yeah, this is your worst nightmare as a leader at a short track like this, where something happens in front of you. You've chosen to maybe even go a little bit to the outside line there, as you saw Dave Mayhew was maybe trying to just get away from Noah Gregson. And that 86 had spun just at the wrong time in the wrong place, and they collected each other. Really unfortunate.
You could see he had the wheel turned, and the car was just pushing through there. He couldn't get it to turn down and out of the way of the contact. We'll be back for more after this. Tough break for early race leader Dave Mayhew here in Meridian, Idaho, as he runs into the spun out 86 of Wood, and he's out for the night. We're back to green.
And Ralph, notice where Noah Gregson restarted. On that outside, where James Bickford had used on the start and restart to get around him, he now finds himself trying to use that outside line to get around Brandon McReynolds.
McReynolds in the NAPA back Toyota. 2 wins already this year on the much bigger Iowa Speedway.
And look at this, just like we saw at the start of the race, these leaders are side by side for multiple laps. It really shows. You see Noah Gregson get a little bit of a good run off there off turn 4, and maybe even get a better run here off turn 2 to clear Brandon McReynolds as we go off to turn 3. Really interesting to see how many laps they can run side by side at this short track.
Credit to the drivers keeping it clean too, pushing each other but racing very clean.
Absolutely. We've seen that a lot in this series over the last few races. These drivers can race each other tooth and nail, but keep it clean throughout the race.
Well, we mentioned David Mayhew is out. Heather is caught up with him for a report.
Yeah, guys, unfortunately, another tough break for David. You were leading the race. Walk us through what happened out there.
We're just kind of biding our time, and the top came in there pretty good, so we were the first one up there. I always like getting up there if I can, and rolled the top really good, so started just cruising around, trying to pace everybody and not burn our stuff up. And just, you get that many guys, a couple of them shouldn't be out there, honestly, and spin out on their own right in front of us and just nowhere to go. Just a bad deal, unfortunate. You guys worked their butts off all weekend. We had an awesome MMI, Poorhouse, Ron Drew, and Chevrolet, and I think that was showing right there. Another short track, we really had a dominant car, I thought. It was early, but just tough break for everybody.
Yeah, that was a real tough break for him, and a tough break for somebody else as a caution is out once again. This time it's Norman in the 30 who brings out the second, or make that third caution of the night.
Looks like they just spun to the inside here of the racetrack. I can't quite tell where that is on the racetrack, but doesn't look to be much damage or any damage at all, really, so no harm, no foul. They'll lose a lap and continue going.
Looks like it was coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, as we see there, and once again, just not much damage there. I wonder if it was maybe a cell spin like we saw with John Wood there, or maybe a little bit of help. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Yeah.
There in the left rear. Just spun it to the inside on the grass and restarted and kept going.
1 to go, and a good look. You can see the grandstands here. Boy, this place is packed tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You can actually hear the fans when we get the green flag here on the restarts. It's really awesome to see the support this track has out in Idaho.
Gregson again on the outside. Green flag.
And a really good restart that time. You know, I haven't seen Gregson really get jumps on the inside car and lead by a nose into the first corner, but this time we're really seeing that. I guess once again we'll see them race side by side for the lead here over the next couple laps.
Gregson comes into the night with 5 consecutive top 10 finishes.
Whoa, and he really clears McReynolds early this time. I think he's learned a couple things on these restarts here to really figure out what he needs to do on that outside line to get that pass done quicker, allow himself to save his tires and get in the lead and start to protect his race car.
Closing in on the halfway point, too, and you see the team cars get together a little bit.
Yeah, you saw Partridge just got a little bit loose there off turn 4. Maybe Bickford got into him a little bit, but they got away with it. No harm, no foul.
Nicole Bihar is in that yellow and blue 33 on the outside. Grayson Raz in the 27.
Yeah, and once again, we just see a lot of side-by-side racing here, especially as you get later or back in this pack here. It can be really treacherous because you're racing on the outside, trying to hold off the car on the inside. You got people behind you doing that, and also trying to look ahead of what's happening in front of you to make sure, as we get one car goes way up high.
Yeah, that's the 31 at Johnny White.
Yeah, didn't get into the wall, though, it looks like, so we're able to not get too much stuff on their tires and get away with it and get back in the race.
Bihar and Grayson Raz really running hard. Those two can't seem to get away from each other as they're bumping and tapping all the way down the straightaway.
Ralph, you can see tire marks on their door panels here as these two are really bumping and grinding right now, trying to find a little bit of room on the racetrack here. As Nicole Bihar is really squeezing Grayson Raz there on the bottom, trying to make that outside line work, as we see at the front, just not quite working for her right now.
Yeah, and hoping to capitalize on it is Buddy Shepard in the 55. Right behind them there. Those two get a little too aggressive. He's going to slide right by and pick up 2 spots.
Yeah, we finally see her getting a little bit of headway here on the outside, as I really think at times that outside line when you're making a pass should be the dominant line. Ooh, she gets very loose into turn 3.
Don't forget, you still got half this race to go.
And that is a good point, Ralph. You don't want to wear out your stuff too much here. Maybe cut a tire down. As you see, these two really bumping once again.
Wow.
This is tight racing.
Yeah, here comes Shepard. He's going to force his way past Nicole on the inside, and now he'll try to go after Grayson just in front of him.
Yeah, and you see there, her tires are missing the Goodyear marks on them. You know, they're really beat up, and that's just something you don't want to do this early in the race. I mean, we're not even halfway at this point that you're going out there and you're bumping for 7th place. You want to save that for the end, save your race car, and be able to put yourself in the top 5 towards the end of this race, not be falling back right now at halfway.
Seventh place is what they're fighting over right now, these two cars here.
Yeah, you have Buddy Shepard there in the 55, making his 2nd start here tonight. Had a top 5 in his first start earlier this year.
Grayson Raz, out of Oregon, 4th in the K&N West standings. Back to the leader.
Looks like Noah Gragson's been able to put a little bit of distance between himself and Brandon McReynolds here, and this is what you want right now. At a short track like this, as the leader, you want a little bit of distance so you can save your equipment, save your tires, and be ready for some late race restarts.
Battle here for 11th. Little contact brewing in there. Even more. There goes Hannah Newhouse in the 46, and around she goes.
Probably the smart thing to do right there. When she got shoved to the inside, forced into the grass, she got down into the racetrack. Instead of coming into oncoming traffic, she turned it to left, hit the throttle, and spun it out. Might lose a lap here, but overall maybe protected her race car and stopped her having a way larger accident.
See if we can take another look at it as she re-enters the racetrack. Young driver out of Idaho.
Got a little bit of damage there on the rear. I'm not even sure if that was from this wreck here. As we see Johnny White, she just got up into the left side of him and forced the race car into the inside, went in the grass where you've got no grip, and as she came over that curb in, it looks like the car was just really unsettled, but did the right thing, as I said before, to just nail the throttle and drive the car to the inside to get it out of the way of oncoming traffic and not have a larger incident than she did have.
Well, the Boise State back. Number 46 of Hannah Newhouse is back on the track, and we'll be back after this. The NASCAR K&N Pro Series West is in Meridian, Idaho. Ralph Shaheen, Parker Kligerman, and Heather DeBow with you as we got the racing underway early tonight. David Mayhew had the early lead, but boy, problems struck him early.
Yeah, as he came down in here, John Wood was sitting on the racetrack and just spun out, tore his car up.
Noah Gragson leads right now as he has led 80 of the 105 laps that we've run already tonight.
Ooh, Ralph, not a good restart there, as you saw for a quick second. You saw Noah Gragson just spin the tires again. We saw that at the start of the race earlier tonight, and I wonder if that's just not putting the heat in the tires before you come to restart, but then obviously gets a great run off turn 4 to take the lead again over Brandon McReynolds.
The two Sunrise Fords sitting back there in 3rd and 4th. as more contact takes place back behind them.
Yeah, I believe that was Eggleston and Shuddy getting together there just a little bit. Not really, doesn't look like they rubbed tires too much, just a little fender-to-fender damage there, but they'll continue going here fighting side by side.
Shuddy in the black and red 21, Eggleston in the black and yellow NAPA 99.
Ooh, and James Bickford is really falling back here, just looks a little unsettled, come off the corner, and Shuddy really gobbled him up around the outside there. And looks like Bickford might be struggling with the race car here after the restart.
Keep an eye on Shepard in that black 55. He is working his way through the field. Remember, we watched him dealing with Grayson Raz and Nicole Bihar. He has cleared both of them and continues to push deeper into the top 5.
Yeah, really making a march forward, using that outside line effectively. Oh, as we see the 68 here off to the inside.
Yeah, that's Colton Nelson in the appropriately named Shake and Bake Racing team entry.
Ralph, as you see here, Eggleston and Bickford racing side by side. Bickford is really falling back quickly. I believe he restarted there in the 3rd or 4th position, has fallen all the way back to 7th or 8th. I just think there's a big problem with that race car right now. He's really struggling.
Yeah, you can see, oh boy, more problems for him. Nicole Bihar gets in the back, and now something's dragging on the backside of the 6.
Yeah, I have to wonder if he might have a tire going down right now or something. He is really falling. As he gets into Grayson Raz on the front stretch.
Or the other way around. Either way, contact was made there between the two of them, and Bickford's night gets even worse.
Well, Bickford was really fighting with his race car there, and sometimes you can get a little flustered as cars are coming at you so quickly. Maybe he had a tire going down or some form of an issue. And as he came up the track there, I just don't think he knew that Grayson Raz was there on the outside and got up into him and turned into the wall.
Then he was hoping to get off the racetrack and couldn't even get that done.
Yeah, I think he was trying to stay on the lead lap there and wasn't able to keep on the lead lap. Yeah, see, he really squeezed Grayson Raz up in the outside wall. I really believe he didn't know he was there, maybe being a little flustered with fighting with the issue he had in the race car, considering he was falling back really quickly here. See them getting together and shoving each other in the outside wall, on the front stretch.
He had won the most recent race on a quarter mile at State Line, and he was probably hoping for another good run here tonight. Not going to be the case. Well, we get ready to restart the racing action. His teammate will be on the inside of Gregson as we come to the green.
Once again, Gregson picks that outside line. We'll see here if he can continue to get the good restarts that he's gotten each and every time here as he's been on that outside line.
Partridge looked like he got a pretty good jump, though.
Yeah, and we've seen this. That inside line can maybe get a better jump than Noah Gregson. Oh, clears him off turn 2. Really impressive restart.
Partridge is tied for the points lead with Eggleston, leads them here in Idaho.
Yeah, that was impressive. We have not seen that at all tonight, being able to use that inside line on the restart. Noah Gregson just maybe didn't get the best jump off the line, but that usually, as we'd seen in early restarts, didn't matter that much. But this time around, Partridge is able to use that inside line, get by him, as you see Noah Gregson fighting back on the inside here on Partridge.
And Eggleston's going to have to start moving up through the field because Partridge tied with him in the points lead. He can't allow him to get too many spots in front.
Well, and first and foremost, he's getting a bonus point right now for leading the lap, obviously. And I don't think he can really get up there and lead the most laps here tonight. But that's a very important bonus points, and every point matters with just a couple races left in this season.
Gregson trying to get up there to get an opportunity to lead a few more. He's got the nose of that yellow and black 7 up front now.
Yeah, and really showing the versatility of that race car. We've seen him use the outside line mostly tonight. Gets back on that inside line, is able to make the pass and lead over Partridge. Really showing the strength of that number 7 machine.
Shepard, I really like what he's doing. He's moved himself to 3rd as well.
Definitely been an impressive run there. We saw him earlier in the night racing for about 8th to 10th with Nicole Bihar and Grayson Raz, and has just methodically moved his way forward, taking care of his equipment, avoided some incidents, finds himself in the top 3.
Here's Eggleston in the 99.
And this is important for Eggleston right now, to keep his composure, to not overdrive the race car, knowing that one of his competitors, or his main competitor for the championship right now, is up there fighting for the win.
Racing continues here in Idaho. We'll be back for more as we move deep into the second half. Back here in Idaho, 36 laps to go. Under caution again. Hannah Newhouse in the 46 has spun once again. That brought out the caution.
There we go. Noah Gregson using that outside line on the restart. Really good restart that time. Didn't give Partridge any chance to use that inside line to get by him. As Partridge gets shoved up the track here, he's going to lose a bunch of spots.
Yeah, and Shepard pushes through in the 55.
And we actually saw that earlier. Even when he took the lead, when he went down the 3 and 4, he slid up the racetrack. Oh, as Johnny White gets hit by Eggleston here.
Those guys were all bumping and banging all the way down the straightaway. And it finally escalated into the 31, spinning once again. It's the third time he's been involved. There's Hannah Newhouse involved in something as well.
Wow, that was, just a lot of cars in one place on a very tight racetrack is what it looked like. You see here Brandon McReynolds getting by them. Partridge slowing everyone up. And Johnny White there in the center, 3 wide. Eggleston just gets into him. I don't think there was enough room to be 3 wide at this racetrack here tonight. They all came in funneled in the same place, and Johnny White was the unlucky recipient.
I think White thought he had cleared him, was trying to get down to the corner. There was just a little bit of nose left to clear, and it didn't get around it, and around he went. All right, let's head downstairs and check in with Heather. A lot of action down there tonight.
Yeah, guys, the reason why the 9 of Ryan Partridge came into the pit area is because he said that something didn't feel right with the right front. Either a tire or a tie rod was going bad. They changed the tire and they checked the air pressure, and it only had 7 pounds in it, so that was definitely their problem. So they were able to get it back out on the track to hopefully gain as many points as possible tonight, since everyone seems to be having a pretty bad evening.
Yeah, it has been a rough one, but that's what you expect on a tight quarter mile.
Absolutely. Another good restart there for Noah Gregson. Shepard has his first restart on the front row here, holding tough on that inside. One thing to note there with the issues for Partridge, that's the second car for the Sunrise 4 team that's had an issue tonight. As we saw, James Bickford fell back earlier with a problem.
McReynolds in second. Shepard pushing him.
Clears him. Really good drive off there off turn 2. Got the cleared and gets a good run at our leader there, Noah Gregson.
This is important for Brandon McReynolds, too. He's been very good on the big racetrack at Iowa this year. He could use a solid run on a short track as well.
No, you're absolutely right, Ralph. That's really important for a driver of his age and time in this series to really start to become a force on the short tracks and the larger tracks, to show you have the versatility as a driver to the owners to hopefully move up to the Camping World Truck Series and beyond.
$185 laps. 2:08 is what we're going to run here tonight.
This is definitely getting down to the crunch time here. You've probably saved what you wanted to save in those tires and out of these race cars, and now it's time to make up positions and really start to make your push towards the front, because we're going to run out of laps quickly here at this short quarter mile track. Caution's out.
Caution once again. This time, Nicole Behar.
Wow, Ralph, that car looks very beat up here tonight. You can see the front fender is coming off. It's completely come off the the hood there, and the hood pins are ripped out. It's a really beat up race car here tonight.
Yeah, they've aged that car a little bit tonight, haven't they? Nicole, one of the young new generation drivers on the tour. Let's meet another one of the new next gen in NASCAR. Here's Alex Shuddy.
My name's Alex Shuddy. I'm 26 years old, from Redding, California, and I drive the Steve Horton Gay for 21 Proficio Zitoval Chevrolet. Probably raced go-karts for about 15 years. Still stay active by driving them today. Enjoy the heck out of it, and that kind of springboarded into some Formula car and sports car stuff, and ultimately made my way this direction. Always cheered for Mark Martin. He was my favorite NASCAR driver. definitely looking for a podium towards the end, and kind of our eyes set on Phoenix. We're liking the speedway stuff, and I think we have a car and team and everything that can get us up front come that event.
Well, patterning yourself after Mark Martin is not a bad way to go.
Absolutely. I've raced against Mark, had a lot of times racing side by side with Mark. He's an absolute gentleman and a really fine race car driver.
Mick Reynolds trying to make that bottom groove work.
And I know it looks like a replay each and every time we see Noah Gragson on that outside here tonight, but he's just really used it effectively. Been able to be controlling this race exactly how you want to, using the restarts to his advantage and making sure to find the right way to make the restarts to keep the lead each and every time. And Ralph, Alex Shuddy there is actually, he said he was waiting until Phoenix to maybe get in the top 3, and here he is running 3rd on this tight, as we have a wreck here.
Yep. Caution once again. Dylan Caldwell in the 06. Is that black car sitting in the middle of the racetrack?
You got Brett Thompson there in the 61 who just drove off. Seemed to be involved in this incident as well. Oh,
he was spinning before he got to the corner, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's an interesting place to have a spin like that. You see Brett Thompson just comes in here and trying to avoid getting into those guys, spins it out himself as well.
Well, we'll line him up and do another restart. Laps winding down here on NBCSN. Down to the final few laps here in Meridian, Idaho. Ralph Shaheen, Parker Kligerman, and Heather DeBow with you. Noah Gragson has been dominant on the outside on these restarts. Can he do it one more time?
Oh, saw Alex Shuddy get up the racetrack there in 2nd place and get up into Shepherd.
There's a lot of beating and banging going on out there. They know they've only got a handful of laps to go. 7, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah, Shepherd and Shuddy are leaning on each other here for 3rd place. Just absolutely bumping and banging here, rubbing tires on each other.
Oh, and around goes Thompson again. Yep. We stay green. Thompson gets rolling.
And look at the lead that Gragson has been able to put on Brandon McReynolds here just in a lap or two, really driving away with this one.
Well, if anybody saved any of their equipment, it looks like Gragson might have saved the most. His car really coming to life here in these final 10 laps. Eggleston trying to gain some points. See if he can get around the 55, and with Partridge out, could be a good opportunity for Eggleston.
Ralph, you're absolutely right. Earlier in the race, Partridge leading. Eggleston was back. He had to be smart. He stayed smart. He kept his car clean, and now he's in a position to gain points on his championship rival.
Points will definitely be shaken up here tonight. They got lap traffic in front of them. It's been an issue all night. Will it be an issue with 3 to go? What will Eggleston do? Outside line, I guess.
Yeah, Ralph, and what we were seeing right there, where they were side by side there of Thompson on this outside the 84, you don't want to see that, but if Thompson will get to the bottom here and let Gragson use his outside line like he is here, I'd see there'll be no issue right now.
Noah Gragson, 1 at Tucson. Can he win here tonight?
Really taking care of...
another car goes around. It's Shuddy. We keep going. It's the final lap. Here we come to the checkers. And Gragson wins in Idaho.
Got the pole, led the most laps, got the win. Very impressive night for Noah Gragson.
Shuddy got going again. But Gragson was the dominant car here tonight. Oh, looks like Shepherd got into the back of Shuddy.
Yeah, it just might have been a little bit of angst from the earlier racing they had there between the two of them when they were getting together a lot, and showed his displeasure there in turn 3.
Well, this crowd has been cheering all night long here in Idaho. And now they get the victory lap from Noah Gragson, giving him a big thank you. We'll be right back to hear from him. K&N Pro Series Racing on NBCSN. is brought to you by K&N High Flow Air Filters and Air Intake Systems, because everyone loves that fast car smell. Well, Noah Gragson just took the win in the NAPA Auto Parts Idaho 208. He's made his way down to the victory lane area here on the front straightaway. Crawling out of the car, here he comes. Right to the roof. It's about the only dent that car has seen tonight. All right, Heather, take it away.
Come on down here, Noah. Noah, second win of the season. Great job out there. You said earlier to me today that it was going to be tiring, this race, and we also talked about how hard it was going to be to stay ahead of lapped cars in traffic. Tell us about your run tonight.
Yeah, we just had a phenomenal night. This is our second one of the year. I'm so pumped up for each and every one of these guys on our team. They work so hard, and I can't thank all the fans enough for coming out. Thank you all for their support, and thank you to K&N, putting these races on. It's just incredible giving this opportunity to race against all these great racers, and I'm just very fortunate.
Now, it's a great points night for you. We're heading into 2 races left, the championship. You're knocking on the door. How does it feel at only 17 to almost be a champion?
Yeah, we came into this year trying to get top 10 in points, and we've just been trying to finish every lap and stay on the lead lap, finish laps, and try to get top 5s, top 3s, and a couple wins here now. So just feels great. Hopefully the points will carry for themselves and just move on to All-American Speedway and try and get another W.
Good job tonight, Noah.
Well, let's take a look at those final results as they came across the line here tonight in Idaho. Brandon McReynolds, I think he's going to be very happy with that second place. Of course, he wanted to win, but he's showing some short track prowess as well.
Absolutely. You also have Buddy Shepard there getting the top 5, and Chris Eggleston got back to finish 4th. Good night for him.
And how about Partridge and Bickford 11th and 14th?
Really going to be taking big hits in the points, as well as David Mayhew down in 21st. A really hurtful night there.
Well, let's hear what Brandon McReynolds thinks of his night.
Here was second place finisher Brandon McReynolds. Brandon, we talked earlier about how you need to get better at short track racing and need to get a win here. You're knocking on the door. You're so close tonight. Talk about your run and how hard it was to battle all those other cars out there this evening.
Well, I think I'm a good short track racer. It's just we've kind of missed it a little bit this year on the short tracks. Hit it really hard on the big tracks like Iowa. It just felt good to come here and have a good run. We had a really good car. I felt like we had something for the 7. We got ourselves behind in qualifying with our NAPA Toyota, but had a flat there running second to know about halfway through and come back to second again. So obviously it was between one of us. It was hard to restart on the bottom and just come up a little bit short, but really encouraging. Ty and our guys did awesome with our BMR Toyota and just got to move on to Roseville.
That's Brandon McReynolds with his 4th top 5 finish of the season.
Well, Roseville's a racetrack there at All-America I know all too well, Parker. One of the places I began my announcing career at, on the PA there on Saturday nights. And here's a look at the point standings, and boy, did we shake that up.
Really did. Came in, Eggleston and Parsons were tied. Now they're sitting behind Noah Gragson, who had a great night and a huge night in the points.
All right, so let's hear from the man who finished 3rd.
In just his second start in the K&N West Series, Buddy walks away with a 3rd place finish. You finished 2 spots better than your last race. You hit the wall early on, and you pulled a little bump and run on the 21 there at the end. Talk about your run tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a good, fun short track race and all that was to it. I mean, but I still can't thank Jefferson Pitts Racing enough for the opportunity. My crew chief, Mario, man, gave me a great car. I kind of used it up a little bit getting back to the front, but that's going to happen, and can't thank all the guys. My sponsors, H&M Motorsports, H&M Spotty Works Towing, and Better Auto Sales. Can't thank them enough for getting here.
That's another podium finish for Jefferson Pitts Racing.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good run, and I'll tell you what, old Buddy Shepard, people are going to keep an eye on him. Hey, the next race, the Wheeling Southern Modified Tour. Bayport Credit Union 150 from Langley Speedway. You'll see it Friday, September 11th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on NBCSN. Well, from one quarter mile to another, the K&N Pro Series West body shop guys are going to be busy, Parker.
Absolutely. We had a lot of torn-up fenders here tonight. I think some of them might just bondo those up and bring them to the next one.
For Heather DeBoe, Parker Kligerman, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from now from Meridian Speedway. Congratulations, Noah Gregson, on your second win of 2015. So long, everybody.